Christine Lee is a realtor with Keller Williams. She joins us now. She's here to talk about some innovative techniques to keep in mind when it comes to listing your house. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you.
And this is kind of interesting because it actually makes you think about real estate in a little bit of a different way than what we're all accustomed to thinking about. Tell us kind of what we're talking about here today.
It's about changing the way that real estate is done.
Okay.
A lot of people just stick their home on the market.
Sure.
We call that the 3 P's of real estate. It's old-fashioned real estate, if you ask me.
Okay.
And so the 3 P's of old-fashioned real estate is put a sign in the yard, put it in MLS, and then you just pray that it sells. And it's just very much left to chance.
Right.
That doesn't sound right. Real estate is your largest single asset for most people, and so gambling with it just is not right, does not sit well. So what we have, the way we like to look at changing real estate, the way it's sold, is introducing the CPO program, Certified Pre-Owned. Most people have dealt with it when they go to buy a used car. And it's funny because people in the used car industry completely get it. The second you say it, they're like, I got it.
Right.
But Certified Pre-Owned, just like in a used car, they do all these pre-inspections. You'll see anywhere from 150 to 270 point inspection, right?
Right.
We've heard those things.
Right.
And, you do that when you're buying a used car. And even with a used car, we say, oh, if this is certified pre-owned and one that's not, there's definitely greater merit to the one that's all, done for you, so to speak.
It has more of a guarantee. It's got more of a warranty. You feel like it comes with it if it's a CPO.
Absolutely.
Right.
And so we see the value with it for a car, which may cost anywhere from, $15,000 to $20,000, $30,000. And then we look at real estate. We're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, and we have no due diligence on the front end.
True.
It's so backwards. We want to do the diligence after we've gone under contract and then hope it doesn't fall through. And so CPO is all about getting the appraisal, the home inspection, and the home warranty. So you package the home in this nice little Tiffany box and say, it's done for you. You don't have to worry about it. And the great thing about having your home CPO certified, so you're certified pre-owned, is that it makes you stand out from all the other homes in the market. And it's unique. So when you're dealing with a buyer, just kind of put your buyer hat on. The typical process is they narrow it down to their top 3 homes and say, okay, which home do we select? And a lot of times they're tied, so they're looking for these little tiebreakers. And so if you had a home that's CPO, you have the home inspection, warranty, and the appraisal done, right, and you have one that's not. What does that say?
You're going to take the one that's guaranteed, that's already gone through all of that, especially if you're on the fence, so to speak, and you really are 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and you're really tossed between 2. I would go with the one definitely that appears to have more warranty with it, just like with an automobile. So how do we get that particular CPO with a house? How do we make that happen? Call you? I mean, is this what your real estate company does?
Exactly. This is exactly how we go about listing, selling homes, is helping the sellers differentiate their property from the rest of the market so that they can stand out. Even if sometimes, they're in a situation where they're in a newer neighborhood, and they're competing against new construction. How are you going to, get as much money, top dollar for your home in that scenario? A lot of times the sellers are taking a hit.
Good question, and that is true, yeah. Because when they buy it, I mean, everything's guaranteed, warranted when you do buy a new construction with all of the appliances, the roof and the water heater and so forth. So what do you do in a situation where you have a new home?
So a part of the Certified Pre-Owned program is to get that home warranty, which in our case, we have a 13-month home warranty. Typical home warranties run about 12 months. So this is 13 months, has an array of coverage, everything from pool to roof, the AC mechanicals, things of that nature. Right. So when a buyer's coming in and saying, okay, well, I'm looking at this, kind of pre-owned home, and I have a new home, and a lot of times a warranty is kind of a tiebreaker. Now you can have coverage on that. Much higher level of comfort. And for a seller, that's a win. That means more money in your pocket. That means getting sold faster, and you don't have to take as much of a hit if you're competing against new construction.
A good time to list your home now, or how does that work? Always here spring and so forth.
Yes, the market is absolutely incredible. So on the radio show, I talk about the interest rate a lot, the market conditions. And so right now we're looking at interest rates about 4%. Do you remember when rates came down to about 6% and we're like, oh my gosh,
yay,
it's wonderful. Yeah. It's down from 8. We're so excited about that.
They're better now.
4%.
Yeah.
What most people don't realize is that every percent that the interest rate goes down it increases your monthly budget by 10%. You have 10% more purchasing power. So translate that into real numbers. If you're buying a $400,000 home and you went from 6% to 4%, for that same monthly budget, you can now buy a $480,000
That sounds like
home.
a good. Before we go, and we have to wrap, we're already out of time. Can you believe it? Tell us about the charity, the rewards.
So we're involved with Rewards for Heroes and Adopt a Classroom. So a way to give back to our military, first responders, and teachers. You can get up to $6,000 back at closing. So we're really looking for, great candidates that, need that type of assistance and, well-deserved, along with teachers who come out of pocket all the time. For classroom supplies. I was in Office Depot the other day, and she's like, oh, I'm coming out of pocket for these supplies. I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yes.
Adopt a Classroom. So nominate any teachers. We will, match and contribute funds at closing towards a classroom that, somebody nominates and that we're adopting. And it can be a number of classrooms. So.
Anything. All right. Listen, Christine, thank you for coming in. It sounds like great advice and a good cause, what you're doing, giving back as well.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back.